Guys, you may have seen the title on this and the description. So I just wanted to jump on and share a little bit deeper as our teams are growing and sharing and learning together. It reminds me that I need to remember all that I am, all that I've been through, survived, and what got me where I am today. So, funny thing is how sometimes patterns reappear that we need to heal from. 30 years ago was my last big ending weekend that I used this bottle to harm and hurt myself and slowly kill myself. But I used it as coping mechanism. I didn't know any better. There was a lot of trauma and pain that I didn't know how to deal with. And I used that to numb and medicate. Because 30 years ago, at least where I was from, it wasn't okay to talk about mental wellness. It wasn't okay to even say that you needed help. And at my lowest point, after hurting so many in my path, and not knowing how to deal with it, I had said in my live earlier that there was one, because there was one there's been one that's been really on my mind lately. But no, actuality, there was three people. One more reason, the number three resonates with me. There was three people that believed in me. One was my aunt. One was my grandma, who, for the last week of her life, we were side by side on different sides of the freeway, both in rehab centers. She was fighting and fighting through her pain on her way to her ascension out of pain and into peace. And I was fighting for out of pain and trying to end my life to treasuring it and learning to live it. What I realized now and didn't understand back then is I had stopped growing and learning at about age 10, if not earlier. So when I got out of rehab, I had absolutely no people social skills. Um, Learning how to be a friend, learning how to function in a family. I didn't know any of that. I am thankful and grateful for the chosen family that I call chosen family. You know who you are. Because of all of the things that we have been through, some of the worst of our times and some of the most best of our times. I'm thankful and grateful for that because it's that chosen family that taught me unconditional love, forgiveness. A lot of it was not in the most graceful way at times with any of us. Um, but over the years, we've learned how to communicate more with love. And there's some that we've had to learn from along the way. But it's all the journey and all the lessons that we build upon for the foundation. So it brings me to, there was many lessons. I did 5.5 years of 12-step rooms. And I've always had this longing for something more, no matter what I did. By 95, I had started delving into my own business. And again, I didn't know what I was doing. I hit some brick walls, and I'm an Aries. I'm very stubborn. So instead of fighting those walls, because at that moment I only knew how to deal with it with rage, I gave up on owning my own company and did the right thing, and started looking for a career. I met some beautiful people at the first one because at that moment it was lucky to for me to even keep a job for maybe 11 months, I think was my record. And then I met my next work family, and I am so thankful for the patterns and things that pop up along the way. And again, lessons and blessings. And it was a beautiful little over 3 years that I call most of them my friends. These are the people that times really got hard. I hope they know, because I know if times got hard, we could call on each other. I didn't know that before, but because of them, I learned that. Um, and then there was a lot of things I needed to learn. I thought that doing the right thing, getting the right job, getting the right marriage, marrying the right person, I went through the motions, but each time I did it, it wasn't heart centered. It wasn't fully me. And again, I didn't know at the time. I didn't even know how to love myself at the moment. It's only up until the last 2 years, only, that I've learned how to love myself. And that's why I share it today. So hopefully it doesn't take somebody 30 years to learn how to love themselves. We've got tools that we didn't have 30 years ago. It took me, I've read and absorbed thousands of books. I've got a couple hundred here in my workshop, which also reminds me I am working on setting up a free library, share one and take one so that we can all share the fun and learning and growth. It doesn't always take money to learn and grow outside of our boundaries and beliefs and find what resonates and makes us feel better. So even if it's not me and my team, find what works best for you. Find and do your best you. Um, and if you're interested in any of the communities that we do have, let us know either in the comments or in the link. If I did it right. Technology is sometimes a good thing and a bad thing with me, so we'll see how she works. But anyways, it's in the comments. And you can check us out there. We love welcoming new people. Um, we are an LGBT rainbow family, but I have beautiful alliances and humans, no matter what their age, race, identity is. If you are a fellow human and a fellow champion, it's something I learned in the 12-step rooms. That's the only requirement, is wanting to do better and be better. That's all you need. And an open mind. So look at yourself, because what I've also learned in the last 2 years is when I'm triggered, that means I've got more work to do. I mean, that anger and that frustration, that's mine. They may say something that triggers it, and it may not be what we think is with love. But I try and think and know that most people are speaking with love. And thank you to my family, all of you, chosen in blood, that have taught me those lessons along the way. Because I wasn't always so nice and welcoming before. Doesn't mean that we allow the negativity and the put downs and all that. It's all about encouraging and empowering. So, shifting that for all of us is something that we need to do, whether it's through movements and affirmations or whatever way, even if it's through tribal rituals or dances that way. Doesn't matter. You do you. You do the best you and bring the best you. We need more of it. We really, really do. Um, One more thing before I go. It keeps popping up in our groups and in our talks, and it's taking us back to the basics. What I was reminded, because I'm a late in life mom, so at 42, I was taking my daughter to kindergarten and reminded me of the basics of what we all learned in kindergarten. The bottom line of life, the three B's. If we're following the three B's, life is a lot better. Because as long as I'm making sure that I'm safe, being responsible for myself, being respectful to myself and others, life's a whole lot simpler. So, on that note, keep that in mind. I choose to love, encourage, and empower myself and those that are ready to join the path with us. And until the next time I jump on, I hope you enjoy your day, whatever way. Be the best you. And as always, peace and purple. Sometimes even a little bit of fluff yourself.